Hey, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Antoinette, and this is Culture Alchemy, where we decode pop culture. And it has been more than 4 years since Euphoria hit our screens, and the show makes its long-awaited return on April 12th for a third season. The latest trailer just dropped, and the troubled teens are out of the classroom. It's 5 years later, and so what version of these characters are we meeting now that they're troubled adults? Is it going to be more money, more problems? I'm going to watch the trailer. Let's see.
Have you ever been to Mexico?
Me? In Mexico?
Swallow.
Oh, no.
Disfruta.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Drug mule.
Some parts.
In the beginning, we had to make a choice.
It's like a walk of death.
Who we were. And what we wanted.
The network loved your storyline.
Really? But what we didn't realize was how far we were willing to go.
I have a meeting.
With who? Cassie?
Round 2, baby.
I'm gonna tell you something that might make you angry. Maddie's been helping me.
Well, my Maddie?
She was my best friend.
What do you think she wants?
Poke the ass up.
After all these years,
Does your wife know you do this?
Do your parents know what you do?
I'm your sugar daddy now. Had we finally gone too far?
Used to be your husband's friend. I'm gonna become his worst fucking nightmare.
I've done a lot of evil and I've never really thought about it.
Okay, well, it's clear you've been using a gun.
You want to undo the evil you've done? Start by changing yourself.
Don't try.
Look at me. I can see that you're a good kid in a bad situation. Wouldn't you agree?
I used to believe that the world could be a better place if people could empathize.
Remember me?
How could I forget?
Oh,
The
wow.
real disease is that people no longer know the difference between right and wrong. You poison kids for money.
Mom, I really need to come home.
You're evil.
What happened to you?
Alma tried to kill me. And he's gonna do the same to you.
Academy Award nominee. Wow. Still can't believe it.
What is wrong with you people? In the end, no matter who you are or what you want, we all answer to God.
Ooh, so April 13th. I think I said April 12th in the intro, so April 13th. Wow. Okay. So right off the bat, oh my gosh. This looks bananas. Wow. Okay, so this trailer is so dark to me, much darker than anything Euphoria has done before. And you know what's interesting to me is I'm watching it. Obviously, you know, we can go online, we can look and see what's going to happen. For some of season 3, we know they're being aged up 5 years. They're skipping the college years and they're just going right into adulthood. And it seems like the addictions don't disappear with high school, right? They just evolved. Because if you look at Cassie, so yeah, of course, Cassie becoming an adult content creator, it looks like maybe she's doing OnlyFans or something. That makes so much sense. Perfect sense, because her addiction was never really Nate. Her addiction is validation. And in current times, what's the best way to mainline validation? It's social media, baby. And like with everything that we know about social media addiction, with all the attention seeking and the likes and the applause that you can get, that makes so much sense that she would do that. Yeah. And I mean, Cassie is so deeply molded and shaped by social comparison and what she sees online and how she's perceived. Oh my gosh, the perfect storm. It makes sense that social media would be the next part of her story, and her addiction would escalate that way. Man, gosh. So if you are interested in diving deeper into Cassie, I'm going to be dropping a video with Dr. G soon, a psychologist out of Miami, where we go really deep into her psyche. That's coming soon. So please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss that video. And then, of course, Rue, my God, my girl's become a drug mule. She's leveled up, unfortunately. And obviously, at the end of season 2, when she's kind of walking off into the sunset through the alley and talking about wanting to be a good person, wanting to be a better person, wanting to try to be good, there was something in that felt both hopeful and also, for me, foreshadowing the eventuality of her obviously losing her battle with sobriety. And this is so common as well too, right? On and off the wagon. But Rue's storyline is something that we also talked about in the video with Dr. G, which is that if you don't change your environment, it's going to be really hard to change your behavior. And Mexico, drug muling, oh my God. It looks like the stakes are not just going to be emotional now for Rue. They're going to be actually criminal. This is going to be insane. And then Nate, oh my gosh. Okay, so we did see in the first trailer that he did marry Cassie or was engaged to Cassie. So clearly now we know they're married. And this is interesting because I wonder if this is going to be history repeating itself and the sins of the father. Because when we see in this trailer that Nate is being kind of accosted at his own wedding by somebody who claims to be one of his friends, it looks like it's going to descend into some kind of a violent sort of situation for Nate. And it kind of reminds me of, these squeaky clean people that will get married and use the marriage as a front for something shady they're doing behind the marriage. You see this all the time in, you talk about this all the time happening in shows and politics as well too, right? Where people need to be married to be seen as virtuous. And so I think this is kind of an interesting take as well. Nate marrying Cassie, not only does it fulfill whatever kind of need he has to protect his image, because remember season 2, we heard him talking about the fact that people don't buy houses from pedophiles and they don't buy houses from pedophiles' sons. So he had to get rid of his father in order to clean up his image. He's very, very image focused, right? So this is very interesting. I can't wait to see the dynamic between him and Cassie. You better believe we're going to definitely get into that on the show. And speaking of Nate's dad, Eric Dane, rest in peace, is so, oh my gosh, it kind of jarring to see him on screen, knowing that he's no longer with us. It'll be really interesting to see what body of work he leaves behind in this season. And obviously it looks like he's out of jail. So I wonder if there's a connection between what seems like the mobster at Nate's wedding and the dad. That's going to be, oh my God, that's going to be so wild. And then of course, I got to say the obvious omission. We don't see Kat. We don't see Fez. Obviously, Angus Cloud, also rest in peace. My God, it feels like we're pouring out a lot of drink for people these days. But Angus Cloud no longer being in the show. It'll be really interesting to see where they go with his character. If he dies on the way to prison, if he dies in prison, how they're going to manage that. I'm definitely going to miss Fez. He was one of my favorite characters for sure. The real heart of the show, in ironically. But one thing I do think is going to be really interesting as well is looking at Maddie and Cassie being reunited and working together. And I wonder, is this Maddie working with Cassie, rekindling some kind of a friendship? Or is it more of a surveillance situation? Is it a dish best served cold situation? Maybe it's both. I can't wait to see how that dynamic plays out. That's going to be wild. I don't know if this is going to be reconciliation or some kind of revenge. I don't know, but this is going to be really, really interesting to see it play out. And I'm hearing a lot of people online talking about the fact that this looks like it's The Wire meets Euphoria. And honestly, I see it because you got the crime stakes, you've got the adult timelines, you've got the consequences playing out in some desert setting that almost guarantees there's going to be something bad's going to go down in Mexico. And what's interesting to me is that the addiction and the drugs are just, they're part of the infrastructure now of the show in season 3. They're not just the personal struggles in a more suburban setting. They're actually the foundation of the setting in this show. So that's going to be wild to also see how this is going to play out for everybody. I cannot wait to get into this. I'd love to know, which storyline are you most excited to see play out? There's so many threads they're going to be pulling in season 3. I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be chaos. My goodness, there's going to be a lot of different places they can take this show. And until next time, alchemists, stay curious.